We were never just friends. Episode 1. The seat beside me. They say some people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But every now and then, someone enters your story before either of you is old enough to understand why. This isn't a story that began with romance. It began with a school bus. Every weekday morning, that bus followed the same route. The same neighborhoods, the same stops, the same familiar faces. For most kids, it was just a ride to school. For me, it became the place where one of the most important chapters of my life quietly began. I was older than him. 7 years older. At the time, that felt like a lifetime. He was the younger boy who always seemed to find the window seat. While everyone else laughed, shouted, traded jokes, or argued across the aisle, he often looked out the window, watching the world pass by. I can't tell you the exact day we met. Memory doesn't always work like that. But I remember noticing him. And sometimes, that's where the most meaningful stories begin, not with a date, but with a feeling. As the weeks passed, I began paying more attention. I noticed the way other kids treated him. I noticed the comments, the teasing, the moments that might have looked small to everyone else but didn't feel small to me. Whether he needed my help or not, something inside me wanted to make sure he knew he wasn't alone. I never made a big announcement about it. I just did what felt natural. If I saw someone bothering him, I spoke up. If I sensed something wasn't right, I paid attention. Looking back now, I realize I wasn't trying to rescue him. I was simply trying to protect someone I cared about. Over time, the bus rides became something I looked forward to. We talked, sometimes about school, sometimes about whatever happened that day. Sometimes we laughed over things that probably wouldn't seem funny to anyone else now. Those conversations weren't dramatic, they were ordinary. But ordinary moments have a way of becoming extraordinary memories. There was comfort in seeing the same familiar face every morning. There was safety in knowing someone would be there. At the time, I thought we were just becoming good friends. Nothing more, nothing less. Life has a funny way of revealing the meaning of moments years after they've happened. Eventually, school changed, schedules changed, life moved forward, the way it always does. The bus rides came to an end. Like so many childhood friendships, we drifted into different chapters. I assumed that was the end of the story. I was wrong, because some people don't disappear from your life. They simply leave the page for a while. Years passed. We both grew older. Life became busier. New responsibilities, new dreams, new challenges. I never imagined our paths would cross again. And then, one ordinary day, I walked into work. I looked up, and standing there was the little boy from the school bus. Except he wasn't a little boy anymore. That moment stopped me in my tracks. Not because I expected it, but because, in an instant, years of memories came rushing back. The bus, the laughter, the quiet conversations, the mornings that once seemed so ordinary. I had no idea that seeing him again would open a chapter I thought had been closed forever. But that's a story for another day. On screen, we were never just friends. Episode 2. You work here now?